Is everybody ready? All right. Well, first of all, thank you for being here this evening. We had a tragic ordeal occur last night in the city of Bartlesville, and as you know, you got a snippet last night in reference to what had occurred. And we just wanted to hold this conference to kind of bring you up to speed on where we're at this time. Last night, Monday, November 13th, 2023, at approximately 21:39 hours or 9:39 hours or p.m. At the intersection of U.S. Highway 60 and State Highway 123, Bartlesville Police Department were called to a homicide that occurred at that intersection of 16-year-old Marcus Stephen Scott of Bartlesville. He was shot in the torso multiple times. Investigators have identified persons involved in the incident. A suspect vehicle has been located in Coffeyville, Kansas, and the driver of the vehicle is a possible suspect in this case. Is also has been arrested in Coffeyville, Kansas on unrelated charges. He's being held there and detained there at this time. Video has identified multiple witnesses in the area at the time of the shooting. The witnesses of the possible shooting would like to have them come forward to help us further this case. We have video evidence that was gathered from businesses in that surrounding area to help us along with this investigation. This time, this is an ongoing investigation. We do have multiple suspects that are associated with this case, and so we continue the investigation as we wait to bring this young man that is our suspect back from Coffeyville. So at this time, that's an ongoing investigation.
Do we know a possible motive?
At this time, it's still under investigation, and we do not know the motive.
Do we know the victim? Was the victim in a car or walking when he was shot?
Sure. The victim had been in the car, and he had exited that same car that the suspect was in.
So the suspect and victim likely knew each other.
Yeah, this is one of those incidents that is known. The suspect and victim do know each other.
So is it possible the victim was shot in the car and the suspect left the body, kicked the victim out, essentially?
No, ma'am.
No. So how did the victim ended up in that area?
Well, again, this is ongoing investigation. We do have several witnesses we've been talking to, and we're still establishing that part of the incident.
Is this any way related to the break-in over in the Colonial neighborhood?
No, sir.
Okay.
Do we know where the car involved was before the scene of the crime?
We have witness information of where that vehicle was, yes.
Are you able to share? Was it at a club, a home, a house party?
Not at this time.
Is this fairly unusual in Bartlesville? I mean, how many homicides a year do you have? Like, is it kind of a shock to the community, to you guys? Like, you know, is it kind of unusual?
It is unusual. Bartlesville is typically a quiet town, quiet city. We're population about 37,000, and it's a great city, and these things happen. They happen all over the country, and in this case, the suspect and the victims know each other. So this is nothing of concern other than that the citizens should be concerned with. As far as, is this a random deal? This is not a random incident.
Do we know where the victim went to school?
Yes, the victim went to Bartlesville High School.
But what the district tells me, the victim was not a student there.
That I don't know if he was a student or is a student there at this time or not.
I think he withdrew.
Okay.
I think at one time he was.
Okay.
But he's not enlisted anymore. However, about how many homicides do you have a year, and what number is this?
This is number two. Number three. I'm sorry, number three. Typically, we have 1 to 2 a year, and then we go sometimes without having any. So it's kind of picked up in the last couple of years.
Is the suspect also a juvenile?
No, ma'am.
Suspect, a man, an adult male?
Suspect Well, there's more information going on. We're trying to investigate fully. The reason there are no charges at this time is we're not complete with our investigation, so we do want to make sure that if we do identify him as a true suspect, that we can release that information
So
properly.
are you calling the person who was found in the suspected car a person of interest then, or
A possible suspect.
possible suspect? Okay. Are there possibly more suspects or just one?
We'll continue the investigation to determine, to make sure that there's not just one. If there's more, that we want to make sure we identify them.
But so far you've identified one possible suspect.
Really can't comment on just the one.
What did the witnesses describe seeing?
Witnesses describe what they saw and heard. That I can't release at this time, but we do have substantial evidence to show that what they have told us is accurate.
You're asking for the public's help. What would you like? What help can the public do?
Sure,
What would you like
sure.
to know?
Well, in looking at the videos of that area last night, there were multiple vehicles in the area. We have a few witnesses that have come forward. We believe there are some others that have not come forward. They maybe not have known what they were seeing. We're just trying to get them in the area and try to interview them to find out what information they may have that others didn't have.
Was the victim dead when you guys got there? Was he taken to the hospital?
He was down when the officers got on scene. They tried to administer first aid. Ambulance was pretty quick behind them. They began working on him. They had loaded him in the ambulance, and they pronounced him on board the ambulance.
Did the shots ring out at that area, in the intersection area, or somewhere else? Did the shooting happen somewhere else or there?
No, it happened there.
When the vehicle was located in Coffeyville, Kansas, I mean, how was that found? Was it dumped, or like, what's the nature of that?
As you probably know, they were following up leads, and one lead led to the next, and it led them to that location. So it was part of the all-night search for witnesses and gathering information from informants coming forward and giving information.
So this suspect was found at an address in Coffeyville?
Yes, to my understanding.
So the suspect was located at like a location, not driving. It wasn't pulled over type thing.
That is correct. Correct.
I would just kind of bring it back here to,
Was
Right.
the suspect just kind of on the run, or was there any connection with Kansas?
I can't comment on that at this time. He obviously left the scene, so. Any other questions?
Are you
Yes.
allowed to tell us what the suspect is being held on, since it's unrelated charges? Like, what is that suspect currently being held on?
Sure, I can tell you he's being held on warrants out of another jurisdiction.
Is the suspect from the Bartlesville area?
Yes.
Is he known to you?
Yes,
Do you know the relationship between the suspect and the victim?
I do not.
Did the car belong to the suspect?
The car does belong to the suspect. So, no other questions. Thank you for being here. We'll keep you posted. We'll try to reach out to you and let you know when we have a resolve to this case, as far as making an arrest or arrest. And that'll do it for tonight. All right. Thank you all.